Hi folks, welcome to a rather slanted angle. That'd be a great name for a BBC4 culture programme. Slanted Angle with Peter Davis. Doxed himself. So today we're going over to Pomona Island. Very, 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 very limited exposure on the channel. I don't really drink or pick up too many Pomona Island beers, and I don't know why. I think I had one of the beers recently at Indie Man. Can't remember for the life of me what that was. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've reviewed a Pomona Island. And this is a can of the Factotum when it wants to focus. Are you going to focus or? There we go. When the whole body has to lunge in front of the camera to make the beer focus. So this is basically a pale ale. And very simple description. This is an all day, every day, any day, today PA. So they're abbreviating pale ale with PA, not to be confused with the American state Pennsylvania. That was such an awful attempt at trying to be funny, or maybe I was just trying to be funny and not trying to be funny, being funny in an ironic way. But yeah, Pomona doesn't state what sort of hops are used in this, and I'm really not too sure what the pop culture reference is for this beer. There we go. Hit the sweet spot. But yeah, I thought I'd give this a try. Picked this up from the Untappd. It's not called the Untappd Corner Shop. Oh my god, what's it called? Untappd, not Superstore. Basically, it's a co-op-ish sort of thing, because there's a lot of co-op food. Plus, they had Liquid Death, which is being sold in co-op at the moment. But they've also got beer fridges with quite a few different, Manchester breweries like Cloudwater, Sure Shot, Shindigger, of course, Pomona. Who else? I think there's maybe a couple of Seven Brothers beers in there, as well as like the odd Daya, Verdant. Yeah, it's got a nice little beer fridge for basically a corner shop. Untappd's Corner Shop, is that what it's called? Can't remember. I got a really lovely loaf of sourdough bread from there. Not last time I went, but the time before. It was like on offer for like 75% off, because I think it was going off that day. But sourdough bread seems to keep a little bit longer. Plus, if you toast it, and it was really good. It was really, really, really good, because there's nowhere near where I live where I can get good sounding. I mean, I'm sounding like I'm dressed right now, but there's nowhere local where I can get high quality artisanal sourdough bread. A lot of the supermarkets nearby sell sourdough style, because it's not truly sourdough in a lot of sense, because they use like normal bread flour and things like that. But there was that whole, was it Tesco's kickoff? So yeah, I had the whole loaf, so none of it went to waste, and I got it for a fraction of the cost, and it tasted absolutely fantastic. Proper like authentic sourdough bread. Plus they've got fancy crisps in there. Even though some of the brands that are in there have been in farm foods lately. Which is weird that farm foods was getting like posh Spanish crisps. But yeah. How pretentious do I look in this video, man? Fuck me. Anyway, I've already had a couple of double IPAs. It's Monday evening. I shouldn't really be drinking, but I just know it's going to be one of those weeks. So I thought, let's have a few beers to put masking tape over the problem, which that's a lie because I don't drink in that way. I just felt like having a few beers tonight. So yeah, I was either going to have this or a Rivington coffee stout, but I thought, even though I've already had 2 pale beers, we'll finish the night on a modest pale ale, because I want to hopefully keep hold of that Rivington beer, because I want to do 12 coffee beers of Christmas, which might not happen. And the thing is, if you buy beers now, the coffee character has a chance of fading by the time I do it. So yeah, I just thought, do you know what, I'll crack open this Pomona and we'll get it reviewed, and it's certainly looking lovely. Didn't get a chance to go to their new pub in Manchester when, you know, after Indie Man, but I shall definitely go. I think because they were giving like little business cards where you got like 20% off your first beer from there. But yeah, anyway, looking very, very nice indeed. Nice and hazy. A little bit on the darker side, but it's not dark, but you know what I mean. It's not like a vibrant, pin bright juice bomb. About half a finger's worth of Whitehead. Looking very nice, as I said. I think I might have had this before at Society. And it was just like a casual drink while I had like pizza or something, or I'd just been to home with my friend to watch a film. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Went to home to watch a screening of Le Hen, which is quite possibly one of the best, not only best French films of all time, but one of the best films of all time. Highly recommend you pick up the BFI Blu-ray release. I was pretentious wanker, pre-ordered it, and I got a Le Hen tote bag, which is very impractical because it's a very small tote bag, but yeah, the BFI release is very, very good, and to watch it on the big screen, fantastic experience. And I think as we were about to leave, because Society was on the way, it just happens. Anyway, let's see what we get on the nose. Lemon, grapefruit, Mawam bars. There's like a sweetness there, fruity sweetness. Now they got my nose in there. Yeah, it's got that sort of like Rancho fruit pastel juiciness, or what's the stuff from Roundtrees that is? It's not fruit pastels, but it's like not jelly tots, because jelly tots are like a softer version of fruit pastels. Oh my god, what are they called? Very similar to Bassett's midget gems. You get them in like the mixed bag from Roundtrees. That's what it's reminding me. It's got this like slightly fruity confectionery sort of flavour to it. Aroma, not flavour. Although, could you class aroma as a flavour? Probably not. When I said that out loud, it sounded fucking stupid. But yeah, that's very, very nice, welcoming. Soft, sweet. Generic term coming up, hoppy. Yeah, it's got quite an aroma for its ABV, which I know you shouldn't really say about pale ales. Anyway, smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. And I think this is like one of their core beers. I think it is. And in that context, this is one of those, you're happy to get a pint of it. It's not like, this is going to sound worse than it actually means to come across, but it's not like remarkably overly flavoursome. But there's well enough flavour for you to actually, do you know, I'm going to have a couple of pints of this. It's a perfect pale ale pint. It gets the job done without being just like another generic pale ale. You'd have this with like burger and fries. You could have this with a kebab. You could have this with pizza. You could have this with like loaded fries. I think this would be a really good sort of like pale ale to go along with food from Bunderbust. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those. Or just pick up a 4-pack and have a nice few beers. It's not like really in your face and like, oh, look at me. It's just like, we've got a really good pale ale that you can drink all year round. It beats a lot of the stuff that you can get regularly in your supermarkets, although there's some high quality beers in the supermarkets. It has to be said. I'm sorry to be the elephant in the room, but there are some really good supermarket beers. But at the same time, there's a lot of generic pales, IPAs, session IPAs available. And this is not that sort of territory. I could imagine this, and it might be available on cask. It might not be available on cask. But this would be a great cask pale ale. You know, like early afternoon, you're doing your shopping around Manchester, getting dragged around the shops. Let's not play on that stereotype. You know, you're having a bit of a day out. You just want a nice casual drink. You pop into Pomona Islands pub. I'm not sure if they've still got their tap room or premises in Freight Island, or if they've now moved to... In fact, I don't know where Pomona Island's tap room is. But anyway, you know, and you see it there, you see it on cask, get yourself a cheeky half, cheeky pint, and it's gonna get the job done. And I think that's that to me is sort of like almost a better seal of approval than like, oh, look at this amazingly hopped and fruity, you know, new pale ale that we've done. Or, yeah, we're going to do like a whole release thing where like different venues around the country are going to get the beer. We've got like merchandise for it, you know, all this sort of stuff. Not every beer has to be like that. I like it when breweries can just churn out on a regular basis just a really flavoursome, not too exciting, not too in your face, but dependable, but not boring pale ale. And if this is one of their core range beers, you know, this is in a Mancunian sense, bear with me, this is basically, from what I'm tasting here, Pomona's Simona. And that sounds like I proper set that up because those two words sound very similar. But I can assure you, I'm not that clever. I'm not John Cooper Clarke. I'm just a fat blonde guy who's starting to slowly look like Boris Johnson again, which is never a good thing. But yeah, and I think, you know, Steady Rolling Man, Faith, I can't remember what Cloudwater's like regular pale. I think there's maybe a few variations. But I love it when these breweries who churn out, because Pomona Island churn out like these really insane sour beers. They had a really interesting like barrel aged imperial stout series. I think they did in the bottles. But I like it when breweries have these like stupidly hype, exciting, melt your face when you drink them beers, but can also think, do you know what? Why don't we just brew a really good pale ale? Nothing too exciting, nothing too mind-blowing. We're not trying to overhype it. We're not trying to like sell out tap rooms and, well, not tap rooms, bars and, you know, bottle shops around the country when the beer's being released. It's just like, we want this really good, solid, dependable, but not boring pale ale. And yeah, I'm not sure if Factotum's a one-off, it's a seasonal, or if it is a core range. If it's a core range, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I would buy loads of cans of this just to have a good, enjoyable pale ale where, and it's going to sound so wanky and like counterculture, he says with his cardigan and check shirt and thick rimmed glasses and messy hairstyle in a non-ironic way, because my hair only looks good when it's messy, because I don't have a good hairstyle in general. So it has to be messy. It always has to be messy. Even when I get it cut shorter, got to do something. I mean, that's why I'm riding out this awful attempt at a beard alone. Sometimes it does look good, but I know I need to like groom it. I need to get some beard oil. I need to just trim it and shape it and love it and just let it grow, nurture it. But I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to do that. But don't know what point I was trying to make. I think I've made that comment in all 3 beer reviews that I've done tonight, because I'm human garbage. But I own it. I'm a tragic genius who 10 years down the line, people are either going to go, do you know what? He actually was amazing creatively. Or I'm either going to be one of those people 10 years down the line, look what he said about this subject. Look at this offhand comment he made. But yeah. Yeah, it's just a good, enjoyable, simple, well-brewed pale ale. And I definitely think on cask, this would take it to the next level. Anyway, shit beer review aside, that was Factotum from Pomona Island. Very, very good indeed. And just for context, 2 other beers that I've had, both being double IPAs. One from Pressure Drop, and then one from Other Half and Cloudwater. Yeah, that was, you know, it just juice bomb. That's all you need to say. This was not what I expected, but still very flavoursome. But out of those 3 beers that I've done now in this evening, if I had the chance to, I'd go grab another can of this and just enjoy the rest of my evening. It's a really, really good staple beer. And knowing me, when I upload this isn't regularly brewed. This isn't a core range beer. I can see it now, although I think it is. But no, very, very good. I would definitely have that again. So yeah, that was Factotum from Pomona Island. And I think the description is absolutely perfect for this if it focuses. This is an all day, every day, any day, today pale ale. Nailed it. So yeah, if you've tried this, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Feel free to correct me on anything that I've said in this video. You can spit on me if you want to. Stop making references to your main audience, who are males in their late 20s, early 40s. But, you know, there might be some people who like that. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge or shame? So, yeah. And on that train of thought, if you want to broaden your horizons in a cultural sense, look up Jamie Gillis on the Prowl. That's all I'm going to say. Links in the description, and if you've tried it, let me know what you think. Shouldn't really make a Jamie Gillis reference, but it is what it is.